all in, all in, all in, all in.
The little thingy-me-bob on the scale, it has to balance.
Back from Macau, and it's back-to-back straight meatlocks. It was easy light work. As we said, quickly, before we recap last week, if you're just looking for this week's locks, head straight to the timestamps in the comments and smash subscribe if you're new here. We're almost to 1,000 subs. Appreciate you guys grilling and chilling. But last week's meatlock, Jake Matthews over Carlston Harris. We basically said Harris off the couch is going to get smoked. Easy light work, unanimous decision. It played out 3-0, just as we said it would. What'd you make of the Jake Matthews easy light work meatlock?
I mean, yeah, that was the lock of locks. I mean, Jake Matthews looked great. I mean, anyone that didn't think that that was a lock is probably a catch.
Yeah, easy light work. We'll keep the meatlock streak going this week. Also, last week we called Pavlovich light work over the thumb. That was non-competitive. You were all over the plus 223 Atomic Alonzo dog. You basically said Zhang Ming Yang is an unproven hype beast. You were all over that one. And in the meat event, I had Song Yudong. You had your boy Figgy. Ultimately, Song got the dub. Any last thoughts on the meat event or anything from Macau, or are you just trying to swap into this Apex Duster?
Yeah, let's get to the Dusty Dink of the Apex Dink lock.
Move us over then. You see the text. It's the UFC Meta 5 meatlock, and we're going all in with Brendan Allen. It's easy light work meatlock over Edmund Shabazian, who is plus 203. He has won 3 straight, 4 of 5. He did have that bad loss to GM3 though, and Brendan Allen, meanwhile, is a guy who's 14-4 in the UFC. He's won 2 straight, won 9 of 11, and his only losses were to Sean Strickland, the champ, and the Milkman in a fight that he ultimately avenged. So he has the losses as well to Imavov, who might be future champ, and a peak Fluffy, but Shabazian is not going to be on that level, and despite the improvements of Edmund Shabazian recently, we like Brendan Allen as an all-in minus 213 meatlock. So what are your thoughts on this one? How does Brendan Allen get it done over Shabazi Bum, and is it early or often?
I think it's often, and I also think it is early. Shabazi Bum is pretty much a bum at this point. I mean, all in is going to ragdoll him. I mean, if it's on the feet or if it's on the ground, like he's going to smoke him pretty easily and often.
Do you see this fight escaping the first round? Because I'm with you. I think that when Brendan Allen gets this one on the ground, despite the improvements of Shabazian, there's still going to be a vast level difference there. Does this fight escape the first round? Where do you anticipate this fight ending for all in Allen on this meatlock?
Man, I think it could end on the feet, end on the ground, but I think it will be in a submission. I think he'll maybe drop him or he'll just take him down, pummel him, he'll crumble, and then easy light work sub for the win. I think it ends within 2 rounds, though.
Yeah, 91% of Tapology is all over Brendan Allen. They agree with this all-in meatlock, and to your point, a lot of it is copper for the sub. They think that the submission is most likely. Ultimately, I'm going to go with a late finish for all-in Allen on this one. I think a TKO has some life too, though, as well. But either way, we're keeping it simple, throwing down an easy 213 to net 100, get us our third straight meatlock, our 137th overall, and should be easy light work at the Apex with all-in Allen. Any last thoughts on the meatlock?
No, this is just another lock, nonetheless.
Yeah, swap us over then. First of the non-meatlocks and the last first of the non-meatlocks. Joanderson Brito, aka Tubarão, is taking on Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King, who is a guy who's 13-3, 4-2 in the UFC. And when you zoom in, his only losses are to Claudio Poyas, not bad, and Patty the Batty. Everyone else, meanwhile, Monkey King has been going right through. So are you interested at all as a plus 156 dog in Jordan, the Monkey King Levitt, or do you think Joanderson Brito, who's 5-3 in the UFC and has a lot of nice wins and not arguable losses, do you think that Brito has life in this one, or are you taking Monkey King as a dog?
I'm definitely taking, man, I don't know. I was thinking Monkey King as a dog, but low-key Monkey King is kind of dust, and Brito's still a dog. I mean, even though he did lose, he's not a perfect fighter anymore. I think he's gonna ragdoll Monkey King. I just don't know how Monkey King's gonna outpower him. I mean, unless Monkey King's grappling is just so much significantly better, but I just don't see it. I think Brito, he's gonna be a lot smaller, but yeah, he should have the better striking, he should have the strength, and he should have the grappling edge. The only thing is maybe Monkey King is just bigger and maybe can grapple bully him, but like I don't know. Brito's pretty freaking strong for his little size, so I gotta stick with Brito.
Yeah, Brito is strong, and I too was surprised to see that Levitt is only an inch taller and has a 1 inch reach advantage over Brito. I would have assumed that Brito was 5'5", mini Mendez style, and Monkey King was closer to 6 foot, but they'll actually be closer in size than I would have expected. But I'm also curious to see, we know that Monkey King recently dropped down from 55 to 45, and he made his debut against Yadier Delvai, who is the dude who somehow submitted Dolgarian in the Dolgarian revisit, where he obviously took a bag and fumbled our bag. But either way, Yadier Delvai got a finish in that one and then got finished by Monkey King at 45. So I'm interested to see if Monkey King is just going to bring a different level of strength from his 55 days down to 45. And even over a guy as a muscle shark as Tubarão, he's still going to be somehow weaker because Monkey King goes out there and like ragdolls these dudes sometimes. And while, yes, Patty basically did that to him, I don't know. Monkey King often looks a lot stronger. So, is there any chance that at 45, Monkey King could have a strength advantage of against Tubarão in this fight, or is that kind of a pipe dream?
I think it's a pipe dream, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know how Monkey King's gonna get it done unless he has the size, bully weight of grappling. But even then, I think Burrito has just got way better strength in grappling.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this one unfolds. Ultimately, I think it's going to go the distance. I actually believe that these two might be evenly matched, and I'm ever so slightly going to lean with Monkey King in this one. I don't know. Something tells me that 45 could be his weight class, and Tubarão, to me, might be a guy who has peaked because when this dude was on his ascension, he basically looked unbeatable, but he loses that close, controversial split to Gomes, then gets absolutely ragdolled by Slabatini. I kind of see Monkey King as a Slabatini-esque fighter, and maybe that unfolds similarly. So I'll go Monkey King by close decision. Are you going two-round finish?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Burrito Bandito by second round knockout.
Let us know in the comments if you're taking Brito or the Monkey King, but another grappling affair in this interesting fight against Bryce Mitchell, taking on Santiago Luna, who's a plus 118 undefeated hype beast, 2-0 in the UFC. The wins are against Quang Lee and Angel Pacheco, however, who was a guy who earned his contract via toughness on the Contender Series in a fight that he just got absolutely destroyed in. So the wins are kind of questionable for Santiago Luna, but I'm surprised to see that's basically a pick'em against Bryce Mitchell, who is 18-3 overall, 9-3 in the UFC, and the losses are to Topuria the champ, Josh Emmett, and John Silva. So obviously some tough dudes. Are you at all surprised that the odds are as close as they are in this one, or is Bryce Mitchell a globe head and Santiago Luna is going to send him spinning?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Either Bryce absolutely could be a globe head, low key. But yeah, I don't know. A couple years ago, I would say Bryce Mitchell probably ragdolls him. Recent times, I just don't know. Bryce, we've definitely seen his ceiling. Luna is he's pretty new. Um, we don't really know his ceiling. We know his floor. He's solid. He's undefeated. He could knock Bryce Mitchell out to another dimension. But I don't know if this guy's grappling isn't as strong as Bryce. Bryce is going to put him in a twister and smoke him. I mean, Bryce did come up with a recent good nice win with Saeed. That's a solid win, I would say. But I don't know, is Luna better than Saeed? Saeed is a solid. He's not the best, but he's a solid levels test. So this is gonna be a big levels test in my opinion. I gotta go with Bryce just because Bryce has been proven where he's a solid fighter. He's got great wins under his belt. Kron Gracie, I guess not so much, but Dan Ige is great. Edson Barbosa, Andre Fili. I don't know. I'd be surprised if this guy is ready for a Bryce Mitchell, but if Border Boy is the real deal and he smokes Bryce Mitchell, then I will be watching Border Boy for the up and coming because that will be very impressive.
Yeah, it's fascinating, right? Because the odds again are pretty close, but then when you really zoom in, the experience is different. I mean, this kid's only 21 years old. The two guys he fought in the UFC both are non-grapplers, so there was zero offensive wrestling that he had to deal with in his UFC tenure to date. And the 6 fights that he had pre-UFC were to dudes, some with losing records, others with 1 fight, 0 professional fights, like a lot of straight up noobs. So Santiago Luna, yes, undefeated, hasn't faced a wrestler and is now facing arguably one of the best dudes in this division. So I think Bryce Mitchell at the odds they are kind of juicy value at minus 149, unless this kid Santiago Luna is just the next future champ. But to me, this is going to be way too much too soon. I like the idea of Mitchell in this one. Do you think Bryce Mitchell picks up a finish? I mean, we've seen him unanimous dudes before, but against a guy like Luna, he needs a statement submission or a statement finish of some sort. I mean, Bryce Mitchell kind of just is sneaking by right now and could always profit from a promotional moment. So does Bryce Mitchell get a finish and capitalize on something on this one?
100%. I think either Bryce Mitchell gets it done, probably by Twister, but submission for sure within 3 rounds. Or
Yeah,
I
I buy
think,
that. Let's go Bryce Mitchell with the finish. Let us know if we're sleeping on Santiago though, and this kid is the future GOAT. But anyways, swap us through. It's the meat event. My boy Bilal Muhammad is a -113 slight favor against Gabriel Bonfim, who's +108. And this dude's 19-1, 6-1 in the UFC. The only loss was a fight of the night close decision loss against Nicholas Dalby, who is as tough as they come. And the wins have been pretty impressive. I haven't been all over the Bonfim bros, but this real Bonfim wins over Chaos, Wonderboy, Randy Brown most recently. He has been proving me wrong many times, and I'm curious if he can do the same against Bilal Muhammad, who, while yes was the future champ, yes put Sean Brady's lights out, he's lost 2 straight, right? He lost to Ian Magato Cherry and he lost to Jack Dagmalena. So are you serious that Gabriel Bonfim could be on the same level as those guys, or is Bilal Muhammad ready to rediscover his sauce and needs a perfect hype beast like Gabriel Bonfim to just get back on track?
yeah, I mean, man, I just worry about Bilal not being a grappler anymore. I mean, he tried to strike. I mean, come on, versus Jack, like really, like, and then even Ian Gary, like, I don't know, like, those are guys that I would say Bilal would ragdoll. What's the difference between Gabriel and those two fighters? I feel like not really much. I mean, especially with Jack, like Gabriel's pretty similar to Jack, but Gabriel's better grappling. But I don't know. Gabriel's been putting people's lights out. He's been looking pretty good. He's on a good, great fight streak. Unless Bilal goes full grapple and just ragdolls and gets the decision, I don't. I think he's gonna go to sleep or just lose this fight. I don't know.
It's fascinating because the odds are pretty close. It's basically a pick 'em, but Tapology's all over Muhammad. I was surprised to see that all the Tapology Timmies are backing my boy in this one because historically Bilal's not a guy who gets a lot of love from the fans and doesn't often get a lot of fan support in the online poll pick sphere. So the fact that he's 77% to me suggests that most people think Bonfim might not be ready for this level. It's based on both sides, so they think this fight most likely goes the distance. But are you at all surprised that despite this being basically a pick 'em, only 23% of fighters are taking Bonfim in this one?
It is surprising, but not really. I mean, Bilal definitely has a better, fighting record. I mean, like a fighting, resume than Bonfim. Bonfim lost to, what was it, Dalby or something? I think it was Dalby.
Um,
Like that's pretty bad, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I could totally see Bilal should win this on paper, skill set, stylistically. But is Bilal gonna show up like Jack, or is he gonna show up like, Leon Scott? I don't know. If it's Leon Scott, Bonfim's done. But I just don't. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Bonfim because until Bilal changes up and gets a dub, I just can't pick him. He's on a 2-fight losing streak.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think that if he loses this fight, I don't want to say he's done, but as far as being in championship conversations or even meat event slots, I believe that page will have turned in the Bilal story. But I think this is the opponent he needs to get back on track. I'm still not sold on the Bonfims. Yes, I've picked against them many, many times before, and I'm obviously going to do it again in this one because Bilal Muhammad back against the wall. Bilal is going to take this guy out, and I think it's going to be non-competitive. 5-0, easy light work, unanimous decision. You asked the question, is it going to be like the Jack Magdalena version or the Leon Scott version? It's Leon Scott 2.0 all over again. Bonfim can't step the takedown. Maybe even gets a TKO for Bilal Muhammad if he wants to, if 25 minutes of absolute demolition isn't sufficient for him. So I'm going Bilal Muhammad, easy light work. You're taking Bonfim by finish or decision?
Taking Bonfim by finish.
Let us know in the comments if you like Balak to get back on track or is Gabriel Bonfim the lock for you. Either way, it's a last duster. It's a last ever non-meat lock breakdown. Any last thoughts on UFC Meta 5, the dust?
No, Dust 5, super dope card. Can't wait.
So keep it moving. Keep it moving, right?
Yeah, yeah.